This walk was first conducted in 2018, which was the 250th anniversary of Circus, and Great Yarmouth, together with Norwich, was designated one of the 6 cities of Circus because of its connection with this form of entertainment. Our walk starts at the Drill House. Walking east on York Road, we turn right into St Peter's Plain, and then cross St Peter's Road into Havelock Road, stopping at number 5, the former site of the new Gaiety Theatre of Varieties. Leaving Havelock Road, we proceed south east on Victoria Road onto Duncan Road, stopping at the corner of Nelson Road South and Albert Square, looking across at the Corner House Hotel. Next we will walk along Albert Square, and once we reach Marine Parade, view the Norfolk Pillar to the south. Heading north along Marine Parade, our next stop is the restaurant HMS Hitchinbrook, and then we will walk to the mini roundabout at St Peter's Road and Marine Parade. Crossing the road, we get a fantastic view of both the Hippodrome and the Royal Aquarium in the distance. It's worth retracing our steps and having a good look at the facade of the Hippodrome in St George's Road before heading back to the Drill House. Circus began with Philip Astley in 1768 and has developed and adapted to be regarded as an art form in its own right. Yarmouth's connection with the circus is great because of its association with tourism since sea bathing became popular in the 1750s. Sea Change Arts' focus on circus and street arts is the present-day manifestation of that heritage, having moved into the Drill House in 2012. The Drill House itself, being built in 1867 as the training base to the 2nd Volunteer Battalion Norfolk Regiment, has a long history of being associated with sport and physical activity. Visiting circuses came to Yarmouth certainly from the 1820s onwards, many performing in temporary but purpose-built wooden buildings at various sites in the town, including Theatre Plain, Regent Road, Nelson Road, Victoria Road, Rodney Road, and of course the site of the present circus building in St George's Road. In June 1881, Charlie Keith, known as the Roving English Clown, opened his new circus here in a wooden building constructed by J.J. Isaac of Market Road. It was later to become known as the new Gaiety Theatre Varieties. Keith was admired as a clown, and circus owner P.T. Barnum described him as the smartest I have seen in England. His first performance as a clown took place in 1859 on the Isle of Wight. Although this building was of a traditional wooden type, the following year Keith constructed and patented the first portable circus building, a touring circus that was sturdier than canvas and came as a sort of flat-pack wooden building, with its own box office, gas lights, and grand promenade, with a fashionable lounge. We must remember that circus was not a cheap entertainment. When Keith opened here on the 20th of June 1881, prices were 3 shillings for the stalls, 2 shillings for boxes, the pit was 1 shilling and the gallery 6pence. The Yarmouth Independent reported, "Keith's circus is different from others. It does not depend on horsemanship alone, but introduces many athletic exploits, high-class gymnasts, sensational exhibitions, ballet and grand spectacles." On August Bank Holiday, Keith's Circus was one of the first to parade around Great Yarmouth. In November, the building was let to George Pinder, the owner of the famous touring circus, for the winter season. On Boxing Day, it was reported, the whole arena was covered by a great and brilliant glaciarium, on which was performed a carnival on ice. As we reach the junction of Nelson Road South and Albert Square, opposite is the Corner House Hotel, once the home of George Gilbert and his wife Jenny O'Brien. George Gilbert was born in Norwich and was the son of a penniless coach builder. When he was 11, he ran away to Hanford's London travelling circus. At the age of 15, becoming an apprentice in the circus company of Powell, Foote and Clark. At the age of 17 years, he joined Adam's Circus, but he ran away and he set off on his own to Spain. In 1880, he returned to perform in Hengler's Cirque. Performing for the first time with Jenny O'Brien, they were to be married 3 months later. While performing in Madrid in 1887, he dislocated his knee and recuperated in Great Yarmouth. His accident led him to return to his home city, Norwich, where he hired the agricultural hall for his new circus. The show went on tour to Nottingham, Leeds, Leicester, Derby, Exeter and Great Yarmouth. Jenny O'Brien was no less a performer, in which she would ride and drive a team of 32 horses. The Gilberts, as we shall see, gave the greatest circus legacy to Yarmouth, the Hippodrome. As we walk down Albert Square and onto Marine Parade, we are reminded that circus-type acts, such as acrobatics, did not only appear in the formal places of entertainment in Yarmouth. During the summer, from the mid-19th to the 20th century, itinerant street performers plied their trade on the beach, so much so that in 1873 the Borough Lands Committee appointed 4 rangers to ensure that visitors were not inconvenienced by sellers and performers. One such performer was Charles Marsh, who could turn his hand to anything, including acting as a clown in pantomimes and circus. We might not know anything about Marsh except for his unfortunate accident on the Whitsun's holiday 1863, when, with a friend, he found few takings playing his violin amongst the crowds. He and his companion decided to join the visitors, climbing the steps up the naval pillar. And in an attempt to draw attention to himself, he climbed up and sat on the helmet of Britannia. Here he sang, did handstands and blew kisses to the crowd below watching him. Unfortunately, on descending, he slipped and fell the 144 feet to his death. Walking up Marine Parade, we reach the restaurant HMS Hitchingbrook, where you will see a blue plaque to Jem Mace, another circus proprietor with a connection to Yarmouth. Jem, or James Mace, was born on the 8th of April 1831 at Beeston, Norfolk, the 5th of 8 children born to William Mace, a blacksmith. He was a skilled violinist and started his working life as an apprentice cabinet maker and as a busker. While busking outside a public house somewhere along Marine Parade, he was set upon by 4 drunken fishermen, one of whom broke his violin. Mace chased them down the promenade, knocking out 2 of them while the other 2 got away. A spectator gave Mace a guinea and suggested that he become a prize fighter, a bare-knuckle fighter, thus starting his career, beating Sam Hurst to be recognised as heavyweight champion of England in 1861. Mace toured the country in Pablo Fank's circus before facing Tom King in 1862. On a cold, rainy January day, Mace struggled for round after round with the larger King, who outweighed him by about 25 pounds. King's punches closed Mace's left eye and almost closed his right. In the 43rd, a left to the throat and a throw to the ground ended it for King. Mace had fought over half the fight with a broken arm. Prize fighting being illegal in Britain, he moved to the United States in 1869. A year later, he was to beat Tom Allen to become the first world heavyweight champion. His prize winnings enabled him to set up his own circus. This, like many of his enterprises, was short-lived, and during his life he made and gambled away several considerable fortunes. He was to die penniless in 1910, but is today recognised as the first and undefeated heavyweight champion of the world and the first true world sporting superstar. Head north and cross the road to stand opposite the Flamingo Amusements. Here is a good spot to look up the Golden Mile to the building at the end. Now a cinema, it was once an aquarium. Circus became so popular in the late 19th century that many theatres would convert their auditoriums to encompass a circus ring in the season. One of these was the Royal Aquarium. This building opened in 1875 and had 50 fish tanks showing specimens. However, it was a financial flop and was converted into a theatre in 1883. In the 1880s, Jem Mace was to return to Yarmouth and stage exhibition bouts, both here and at the new Gaiety Theatre of Varieties. Looking across the road, you can see the top of a wonderful Art Nouveau building behind the amusement arcade. The Flamingo was once the Bath Hotel, and in 1898 George Gilbert built a wooden structure on its former stable block. For 5 years his circus used that building. He then decided to replace it with a permanent, purpose-built structure which opened as the Hippodrome in 1903, costing around £20,000, which is about $2 million today. This building, designed by Ralph Scott Cockrell, son of the then borough surveyor, had concrete walls and a double zinc roof. The St George's Road frontage was faced with terracotta and brick in Art Nouveau style. Gilbert bought and demolished the Bath Hotel billiard room so that the full impact of this decoration could be appreciated from Marine Parade. It was said that the new building could accommodate 4,000 people, but that was probably an exaggeration. Its 6 entrances made it possible to empty the building very quickly, if necessary. Today about 900 customers sit in comfort. The high arch decorated ceiling added to the drama of the interior. But the pièce de résistance was the sinking ring, which is still operational, and although quite common in the late 19th and early 20th century, now only 1 of 4 to survive worldwide. Beneath the wooden ring floor is a 2.4 metre pool, holding over 270,000 litres of water. For the water spectacular, giant bolts are drawn to release the floor, which sinks as water flows through its perforations. Today, some of that rising water is heated so that the artists perform at a comfortable temperature. The opening performance featured both human and animal acts. Shows continued during the herring fishing season, and in December an equestrian melodrama was followed by a pantomime. A mixture of circus acts, bioscopes, variety turns, beauty contests, wrestling and boxing and Sunday concerts continued until 1914. In 1908, the summer season lasted 30 weeks, and in 1912, Russell's Vivarium opened on the forecourt, featuring 50 reptiles. In 1978, Jack Jay and his rock musician son Peter became the owners. At first they engaged established circuses to appear, and in 1981 a water spectacular returned. A special show for the building's centenary saw the announcement of a winter show. Now the next generation of the Jay family is involved, and special shows are held at intervals throughout the year, with the building remaining a star of Great Yarmouth heritage. And so ends our virtual heritage walk. The Great Yarmouth Heritage Guides will be pleased to see you on one of our walks in the near future.